It's the lazy, hazy days of summer, and with those days come some laws that you should know about to protect yourself legally. That's the topic of today's Legal Briefs with Whitney Hughes of the Allegheny County Bar Association's Lawyer Referral Service. Thank you for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
And I was reading through some of your talking points here, and really some stuff that you should know about. A lot of people having graduation parties. You're going to have
them now, yeah.
adults and liquor and beer, and definitely some concerns.
There really are. I mean, a lot of people, especially this time of year, are thinking, you know, if I'm throwing a big graduation party and I have my kids' friends over, I'm better off serving them alcohol where I can see what's going on as opposed to them going out and doing it somewhere else. Pennsylvania has what's called a social host law, which says that if you serve alcohol to a minor and that minor then goes out and either injures themselves or injures someone else, you're going to be held liable for that. So it's a really, really big risk to take. Plus the fact that if for some reason the police are called and they end up coming onto your property, you can be charged with furnishing alcohol to a minor, which is punishable by up to $1,000 per offense.
Wow.
So if you've got a bunch of kids at the party, theoretically you could be charged multiple times. So again, it's a big risk to take.
And unfortunately, every summer we wind up covering stories about children falling into pools, and it can have just horrible, horrible consequences. So what are you advising people to do in the summer?
Well, I mean, a lot of it is common sense. You know, make sure you have certain rules. No one swims alone. Make sure that your pool is fenced in, that you have a gate and a lock with an alarm on it. These are things that your insurance company, your homeowner's insurance company, is going to require you to do anyway. But the more safety rules and more of a safety net you have, the better off you are. Legally, anyone who comes onto your property, you know, if I'm having a party or my kids have their friends over to swim in the pool, legally they're called a licensee, which means someone that comes onto the property for a non-commercial purpose, so any guest that comes onto the property. That being the case, you have a duty to make sure that you guard against any type of inherently dangerous condition, and a swimming pool is a dangerous condition, so you've really, really got to be on your guard.
I thought it was interesting too. I don't have a pool, but I had never heard of an alarm, so that will sound anytime someone comes into the gate near the pool.
Absolutely. Anytime that gate, that opening is breached, the alarm will go off.
Another talking point that you wanted to today is power of attorney, and this is something we also hear a lot about, especially when it comes to elder abuse and finances.
We do, and you know, this is the time of year when you're having a lot of family reunions, when you're going to visit elderly relatives that you don't see all the time, and you know, we hear horror stories where somebody says, you know, grandma gave a power of attorney to somebody else, and all of a sudden that person now has, you know, better clothes, a newer car, they're living a completely different lifestyle, and grandma's wondering, you know, where did all my money go? So a power of attorney is a very, very powerful document. Basically, you give someone the ability to act on your behalf. Unfortunately, they are abused a lot. Pennsylvania has recently kind of strengthened their laws with respect to power of attorney. So it's not just a matter of writing something up. You have to have something notarized. There needs to be basically an acknowledgement statement that you understand the responsibility that you have. So it's a lot more involved than it used to be. If a power of attorney goes south and someone is abusing it, you can revoke that power of attorney. So you have to talk to a lawyer, have a document drafted to revoke the initial power of attorney, and then this is the sticky part. You have to make sure that you give that revocation document to everyone that you know that power of attorney had dealt with before. So all of your banks, if you know they're working with a business
loans or something.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, so that can be tough, but it is possible to do. You just really have to do some homework and some legwork.
If a relative suspects something like that for a loved one, is there something that they can someone they can get in touch with or call, a line to call?
We're probably better off to contact an attorney. I would say call the Bar Association's referral service. We can always refer them out to someone who specifically does estate planning and elder law issues to kind of look over the situation, make sure there's no fraud or abuse or anything like that happening, and if need be, take the steps to get that revoked and get them the protection they need.
Now this is so timely. So many kids going off to college, and they're entering into lease agreements for their apartments.
They are, and you know, is a contract which lists rights and responsibilities of both parties. You need to read it carefully, especially if someone's going off to college and they're 18. Once you're 18, you're held to the standard of a legal adult. So it's not like, you know, you can say, well, I didn't know what I'm doing, I'm too young. legally, you're an adult, so you're bound to that. Just some, again, common sense tips. Make sure you read the lease and understand it. Check the property when you move in. Take pictures of it, because if the carpet's damaged when you move in, at least you have a picture of it. When the landlord later says, well, it looks like you damaged my carpet, you can say, no, it was like this when I moved in. Okay. For parents, if you're co-signing a lease for your child, and this does happen a lot because a young person does not have the credit built up, necessary to sign a lease. If mom or dad are signing the lease, they are also agreeing to be legally responsible for that entire chunk. So something to keep in mind.
Okay, we're running out of time, but I do want to talk about this too, because a lot of people are traveling.
Yep.
A car. If you're buying a car, do not buy as is, you recommend?
Never buy the car as is. As is means with all faults. So you're taking it the way you get it. If you drive it off the lot and something goes drastically wrong, you're on the hook for that.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Whitney, for being
here
with us. As always, for any questions regarding any of these issues or to find an attorney, you can contact the Allegheny County Bar Association's Lawyer Referral Service. That number is 412-261-5555 or online at getapittsburghlawyer.com.